All right, so we're going to use the law of cosines and anything else we've ever learned to solve the following problem. We've got a sailboat that leaves a place. It has to go 150 miles. If it's going 15 miles per hour, well, we would expect that to take 10 hours, but it's encountering heavy winds and water currents. So after 4 hours, they discover that they're off course by 20 degrees. So up at the top, I'm going to draw a little diagram. They wanted to go from here to here at a distance of 150 miles. However, they are off course by 20 degrees. So they're now sitting there. How far are they? So this is where we started, Naples, and we're trying to get to Key West. How far are we from Key West at this point? So what is this missing distance D? Now, as it looks now in this diagram, I don't have enough information. We have one side and we have one angle, but we actually have two sides because this was after 4 hours of sailing and they were going 15 miles an hour. So how far did they sail? 4 hours times 15 miles an hour gives us 60 miles. So this side is of length 60. So now notice I have two sides and I have one angle in between them. So that is a law of cosines problem. We're going to complete this triangle. And then what we have to ask are, what's the distance to Key West? What's this distance D? Then imagine this is the direction, I'm down at the bottom now. This is the direction the boat has been sailing. It's trying to get to Key West, so what it has to do is execute a turn. So we need to find what's this angle here. How far does it need to turn? And then it was supposed to take 10 hours if they had gone straight. But they spent 4 hours here. They'll spend an unknown amount of time here, and the question becomes, how much time did they lose, assuming that they're continuing to go at 15 miles an hour. So 4 hours into the journey, they go, uh-oh, we're off course. Let's make a correction and then ask, how much has this slowed us down? So they have drawn the same picture, just sort of twisted around, but we went 60 miles, 20 degrees off course from what we were supposed to do, which was go 150 miles. So we've got a side angle side, which means we're going to use the law of cosines. So the first thing we can do is use the two sides and that angle to find the missing side length. So this missing side length x satisfies law of cosines. X squared equals 150 squared plus 60 squared minus 2 times 150 times 60 times cosine of 20 degrees, which if you just make sure you're in degrees mode, you just punch into your calculator and you get x squared is about 9,100. So x is the square root of that, which is about 95.8. So we are 95.8 miles away from Key West. Okay. So how much time has that added to our journey? That's part C. They're going to want to do the course correction first. At this point, however, because we know this distance, we could jump ahead to answer part C. But let's do it the order that the book does it. We'll go on to B. So we're going to find a bunch of angles. So what we want to do, let me just sketch, okay? We determined this back here was, I think, 96 miles. They're going to ask, what's this angle right here? So they're doing the angle across from 150 miles. So that's why they've picked this version of the law of cosines, from which they determine A is 147.2 degrees. So this right here is 147.2 degrees. But I was going this way, so now I need to turn that direction, which is 180 degrees minus it. Okay, so this will really depend on how the problem is set up, but the boat was sailing in this direction, which means I need to execute a turn, not of this, but I need to go from my course to this direction. So that's 180 degrees minus the angle we found. So I need to turn 32.8 degrees left, which is port. I always remember that because left and port both have 4 letters. So we need to change about 33 degrees port side. For part C, this was what's the extra time. So how long is it going to take to go 96 miles? So our journey is 60 miles that we've done and 96 miles that are left. That's 156 miles. So 156 miles times 1 hour per 15 miles, because I was doing 15 miles per hour, just works out to be about 10.4 hours. So it was only supposed to take 10 hours. Now it takes 10.4, that's about 24 minutes of extra speed. So while I was off course for 4 hours, even by a pretty significant amount, 20 degrees is pretty far off course, it actually only added 24 minutes to my time. Okay, so that's the only word problem we have here. I just wanted to split that off as a different video than all of the solve a triangle ones. So hopefully now, by using the law of sines and the law of cosines to complete triangles, we can compute all sorts of interesting and applied examples involving navigation and surveying, heights of things, how far away are things, etc., etc.